Hi everybody, it is April and I am in my craft room, and today I'm going to show you how to take your quilt to a new level. Right now I am working on finishing up my breast cancer quilt. Now I've quilted it, and what I have left is the binding. And I thought, you know what? I want to add just one other embellishment just to make it extra special. Now, you may not realize how much crystals add to a quilt. I didn't realize it. I have a daisy quilt and I put crystals on it. And when I put them on, I didn't put that many on. And I thought, you know, I'm not even gonna see these. Well, I use that quilt just about every day, and every day there's a little sparkle on the quilt and it just makes me smile. So I think I want to add crystals to more quilts. Now here is the quilt. This is the backing and the front, and no sparkle. Now let me fold it another way where I've added some crystals and see if you can tell the difference. And I'm not sure that the camera is actually going to catch it, but you know what? There's only one way to find out, and that is to try. So here is the front of the quilt that has some crystals added to it. Now I won't know whether or not you can see those until I edit this video, but I'm going to assume that hopefully you can. What I want to do is show you how you can add these crystals very easily to your quilt top. And again, it does not take that many. I have zoomed in on a, well, there you go. I've zoomed in on a spot on the quilt, and I have these little bitty hearts that are pink, and I don't have a lot of them. So I am strategically placing them throughout the quilt so that I have a little heart just every once in a while. I have them in pink, and then I also have them in the clear. So I'm going to set my little heart here. You can have them switch ways. And where I've gotten my crystals is Hobby Lobby. I've gotten them at Michael's, and I've gotten them on Amazon. So it used to be that Hobby Lobby would have the Swarovski crystals, but now this is what they look like. And if you are going to be adding them to your quilt the way that I'm showing you, you want to make sure that there is a picture of an iron and that hotfix is somewhere on the packaging. Otherwise, there is no glue on the back of the crystals, and you can press it with heat all day long and it is not going to stick. So I have my heart. I've got some little pink ones, and this is from Amazon. Again, with Amazon, you want to make sure that you are getting the kind of crystals that you glue on. And some of these are teeny tiny, but even the little ones will sparkle. I'm going to place them on my quilt. And I like to do odd numbers, kind of like in card making. So that's kind of a grouping of 5. So I'm going to dump these back in. And then I've got some just clear that I like to mix in, and I've got different sizes of these. So I think I'm going to take a couple pink ones, put them somewhere else on the quilt, and use a clear one in here too. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Now I have a piece of this mat that is a non-stick mat. You can find it in baking, you can find it in craft making. It's the kind of mat that you can put glue on and it won't stick. I use it for heat transfer vinyl and all kinds of things. So just to protect the crystals, I'm going to lay that on top, and I am using my mini press. This is a Cricut mini press. So I'm gonna guess as to where I've put my crystals, and I'm going to put the heat on. Don't push too hard because you could break your heart crystal. Ask me how I know. But you do want to put enough pressure on and leave the heat on long enough in order for the glue to melt. Now when you have the cover on, it is harder to tell. But what you can do is take the cover off, and if you can flick the crystal and it doesn't go anywhere, chances are you've got it pretty well glued down. So since mine seemed pretty well glued down, I'm just going to put a little heat on for a little bit longer. And here I have embellished this part of my quilt. Also, be careful if you're not doing a quilt and you're doing something, say a t-shirt that's two-sided. You want to put something in between the front and the back of that project, because that glue can go through your fabric and stick to the other side. And then your shirt will be stuck together in the middle and you won't be able to get it over your head. Let me finish embellishing my quilt, and then I will give you a closer look at how it sparkles. My quilt is complete. I've put the binding on. It is a fun pastel stripe, and it matches the colors on the back as well as matches with the pink on the front. I've added my crystals, which just give this some sparkle. I'm hoping that when I move it like this you can see it, and I'm really excited that it's all done. I also did my quilting using a pattern that I just came up with myself, and did the ribbons, like the breast cancer ribbons. Some of them are big, some of them are small, and then I found that I could, instead of doing loops in the middle, where here I would do some loops, I started making little hearts as well, and I'll do some close-up shots of that. So I kind of had fun with the quilting. It was, you know, something different, and I think that's it. So if you want to take your quilt to the next level, consider adding crystals. It's not hard, you just need a hot surface. One thing I do want to share, I got this little iron, 100 years ago. It didn't get hot enough to melt my crystals, so that was a little disappointing. So you do need to use something that is hot, that gets very hot. Your regular iron on cotton, I would think, would do that. And then I used my Cricut mini press, and it definitely, you put it on the 3rd heat setting and it's gonna melt some glue. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, eat some chocolate, and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye.